Hello and welcome to Nepal Traveller. We are back once again with our Travel Trade Talk, a series that deals with the travel trade, the happenings, the events related to tourism in Nepal. Today I'm in a very special place up above the 𝗏𝗃𝗏 Lake. It's a scenic and wonderful area. And joining me today is the chairman of the Shangri-La hotels, which has got exciting new plans. They're coming up with a lot of new properties, and to talk about that, he's joining me today. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for coming all the way from Kathmandu, and welcome.
So, sir, to start with, Shangri-La has a rich history, traditions and everything, and now this new plans post-COVID.
Yeah, if you look at Shangri-La was literally like a melting pot of all the legends who came to Nepal, and that became not only legend but the lifestyle of the legends. That's why the famous garden became landscape garden. It was nowhere in Nepal. Shangri-La introduced that. Again, the heritage, the pool, the culture, the eating environment, the outer culture of hospitality was reintroduced. Which was, I mean, it was felt really in Nepal. So that's how the Shangri-La became very famous, along with the legendary name like 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃, even you name it, Tenzing. They're all part of the Shangri-La upbringing. So we didn't only created the Shangri-La, we created a kind of culture, hospitality culture that was reintroduced those days, in let's say early 80s in Nepal. That was the starting point of the Shangri-La evolving. And we were one of the leading property. You must remember that Shangri-La was always the leading property, though even competing with some of the international brand also. We had his own space, but but again the time went by. Actually, we also felt that, especially after the COVID, we had to close the property for almost like 2 years, and then a lot of rundown stays, refreshment was required. Then we thought that maybe the time has come that maybe every story has to end somewhere, because that was a prime, pristine, well curated story. It was not only for us, for the whole Nepal. They were created from the Shangri-La ground. So we thought that maybe it's enough. The story has to end somewhere. Then the COVID gave us that opportunity that why don't we scale up in a level that Nepal should look at not only the volume, because at that time we were one of the highest area, but again we are looking at volume. Not only the whole Nepal was falling under the volume. Then we are wondering that how do you reach out to the volume, value of volume. So then the idea came that why not we create such a property that it's a different ball game, it's a different identity, even for Nepal. When I was again with the tourism fraternity, we tried our best. Even hotels tried their best, but there was a ceiling that we never could grow beyond that. And there was a limitation. Then I remember that yes, there's a reason behind that. Maybe we have to build the infrastructure, build the product, so that volume is recognized. So that is why we chose this destination like 𝗏𝗏𝗏, where you might have seen. This is not just a destination. I think this is the kind of primal natural force. A world 4 highest peak you can see from here, which is above 1,000 meters, and the lake and tropical forest. Normally this kind of combination never happened anywhere in the world. So location itself speaks about something that nobody has this kind of location in the whole world. And that maybe this is the justice, this is the opportunity that we have to use it. And the reason we were thinking that, okay, Shangri-La did our own excellence, the product was refined, but again there's a limitation. We have to scale up. Then we look at it, our partners, IAG, those days. In fact, even we're looking at 6 senses earlier. But since we have already started the design concept, the 6 senses was very greenfield. But again, they advised that instead of 6 senses, why didn't you start with InterCon? InterCon will be more flexible, and that will, because since Nepal has not jumped to the value, maybe InterCon can fit into that, before even 6 senses come. But they were so much impressed with the location, because this kind of location, as I've said, nowhere in the world, this can be complete, because lake, forest, tropical forest and mountain, it doesn't go together. Either it will be the harsh altitude, you have to see the mountain like that, or there's a lake only or forest only. So this is all this primal force of nature coming together. So it is a kind of experience that we have to build in terms of product also. That's what we name it world-class property like InterCon Resort. And not only that, if you look at the product, because as I've said that earlier, that luxury cannot be upgraded. Many times we try to upgrade by even putting president's suite along with our hotel, but it's a whole ecosystem. If you look at our rooms, it's almost like 1,000 square feet. So we call it as a standard room. That's called luxury starts from there. So this is the kind of idea that has to be brought in to introduce as a value establishment even for whole Nepal. So more than the partnership, more than the property, we are looking at how the destination can be promoted, Pokhara, because Pokhara somehow were undermined for so many years. Now with the infrastructure like airport, roads and all that, with this kind of product, I think the synergy is coming back. At least we can compete with places like Bali, Phuket, or even Maldives. So that's the kind of brand value we try to create with the property.
It's not just about 𝗏𝗃𝗏, but I believe with the IRG you're signed up for other projects also in different parts of Nepal.
Yeah, in fact, the whole idea behind bringing Intercon is, otherwise for Intercon to come to Pokhara was too small, only Pokhara. So we had to have the package of bringing Intercon to Nepal, because if you remember that in India, 𝗹𝗏 brought the Intercon, Intercon 𝗹𝗏. That's how the Indian hotel became the global, its address. Similarly, Nepal, of course, we have got few international chains in Kathmandu, but that is not sufficient. Kathmandu is not only the destination. To introduce Nepal, you require at least the primal tourist destinations like Pokhara and Chitwan. So to bring Chitwan, Pokhara and Chitwan, we got to have at least combination of project. So that's what we have signed with Intercon for Pokhara, Indigo for our existing property, city property, and as an Intercon Resort in Chitwan. So, and then again Intercon Kathmandu, which we are planning to build end of this year, early next year, the project. So the idea behind that is to bring, to create a destination, and to create the address global, global stage, not just for Nepal. And in Kathmandu, we are not only looking, because as you have correctly said, we are trying to keep our heritage, also like Shangri-La was saying that it's a Shangri-La square, We're trying to bring 𝗏𝗏 and Barzan corridor and making the convention center very high-end commercial venue, as well as the 200 key hotel, Intercon hotel. So that's again going to be another landmark address in whole Kathmandu Valley, in Kathmandu city itself. So wherever we are going, here, as you have said, we are only creating the primal, bringing the world's best of best nature together. Chitwan, you have seen that whatever Tiger has left, we're now bringing back that glory and that luxury back to the safari with the international brand like this. And Kathmandu, we are going to recreate again the Shangri-La heritage by even naming that location as Shangri-La Square, because Shangri-La was so popular. And under inside the Shangri-La Square, it will be 200-room Intercon Hotel, convention center, world-class convention center, and a very high-end your shopping, including casino, whatever, that the hospitality has to be offered, So that kind of comes. So it is not just the one standalone product, It's a whole gamut, a whole sequence that we're trying to create, so that in a global perspective, it is not only the hotel by hotel itself. Foremost is the Nepal, then the destination itself, and then the hotel, So that's our objective.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time to speak to us.
Thank you.
And all the best with
Thank
the
you,
plans
Terence.
and
Thank
the
you.
launch.
Thank you. All the best.
Welcome back once again to the Travel Trade Talk. And now, on this part of the show, joining me is Mr. Praveen Pandey, who is a well-known personality from the Shangri-La Group. He's been with the Hotel Association, and we are here continuing at this fantastic upcoming property at the 𝗏𝗏𝗏, the InterContinental 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So, sir, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
And this is such a beautiful property. Maybe you could share more information about how this whole concept of 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and with the InterContinental, what's happening here.
Yes, like you rightly mentioned, this is 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Lake, which really needed attention, overall attention, especially in Pokhara. As you know that Pokhara has a lot of lakes, and this is one of the most important lakes, well preserved lake, such a natural beauty. I think this can really help. The opening of InterContinental Resort in Begnas is going to be a landmark property, and it's really going to help the destination. And obviously the property was there with our family for a long time, and we always had a vision to develop this property as a most premium luxury property. And the interesting thing is this property landscape was already designed for the setting that you can see. I'm sure we'll be showing the whole detail later, but the setting, I would say that proudly that this is a zero impact construction we have done. Mostly in Nepal, as you can see, there is a lot of impact being done during the construction, but we have done a zero impact, and we have made sure that our ecology and environment is well preserved even during the construction time.
And also it reflects a lot of the Nepalese heritage, and it's not one of those big buildings.
Yes, we wanted to blend in the whole property with the nature. I think the nature and the tourism development has to go together, and we have realized that rather than building like we could have built one big building and all the rooms could have incorporated in one building, which would have been better for us in terms of timing. As you can see, it has taken a long time because we have different villas and we have different areas. We call it a clubhouse. So we are opening with 36 all-suite property. So it's the InterContinental all-suite property, which will have multiple restaurants, a spa obviously, as well as there's a lot of facilities which we will be saying later on also. Yeah. So obviously we will be saying that our team, our brand is going to definitely launch these products in a right way, in a correct way. We are the owners, we are a developer. Management knows exactly what product to be launched, what excitement to be added to the client. I'm sure let's give that job to them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time, and thank you for allowing us to come here and shoot and to ask you all these questions.
Thank you so much for coming. Yes.
So welcome back to the show. In this part, we're talking to a very senior veteran hotelier who's also involved in this beautiful upcoming project that's going to be launched soon. Joining me is Mr. 𝗶𝗏𝗃, who's a veteran in hospitality. And this is an exciting project. How do you see this project, the Begnas?
It's a lovely project, I must say. It's so beautiful, so pristine, so panoramic, and lovely setup. Very classy, I must say. The quality of materials that we have used is really beautiful. It's matching the international standards. I think the company has spent a lot of money into it. I must say, a place like Nepal, this is the first time that I've seen such a classy hotel.
It is an InterContinental, the brand.
The best in the world. So we had to align with the international standards and the quality. It's really beautiful, I must say. I'm really excited to have been associated with this organization. It's really great.
And how do you see your role once the hotel is soon to start and get on its feet?
Sure.
What will be the role?
My title is basically Cluster Chief Operating Officer for the company. So we have 3 hotels coming up right now, and later on again, once this project is over, then we'll get on to the one in Kathmandu. Then all the the designers, the engineers will move in there. But first, we want to complete this particular project, which is happening very soon, in the next 1.5 months, 2 months time. It's almost ready, as you can see. And then after that, then Indigo. Indigo is also is getting ready. As a matter of fact, a lot of things are happening. We intend opening sometime in the month of October, during the site time. That's what we are targeting at. Then followed by the one in Chitwan.
InterContinental again.
Another InterContinental. So that will come up sometime by the end of this year, as we can see. But now, I think, once this is over, then, it'll narrow down, and then we should be able to do it faster. We want to open as soon as possible. And that's what is our target. So my role will be again,
Coordinating.
all over, and I'm also the owner's representative. So wherever there's a need, I get into it and get the job done. That's
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Prahlad sir.
thank you, thank you.
All the best for the launch.
Pleasure, really. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to the fourth part of this series. And joining me today is Mr. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He's the Executive Director of the Shangri-La and the InterContinental project. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Terence.
So we've
Great to be
been at
here.
this property. It's amazing. It's so natural, the views and everything else. From you, we'd like to know, how did this whole plan come about? And I believe you've been instrumental also in guiding what exactly you want.
Yeah, so thank you, Terence. We actually used to live here. We had a house here. And, so we grew up seeing this property, a lot of the trees around us. And so when we were going to build a resort, we wanted to do it in a way where we would want the land to shape the property rather than the building shape the land. So, starting with our reflective pool in the entrance lobby courtyard, we knew that that was the only flat land and we wanted to preserve it as such. We didn't want to build anything, so everything sort of started as being built around that, going towards the slope. We used the most unusable land for the buildings and kept the most usable lands as just open areas. So that was sort of one of the driving philosophy for the architecture. The other way we were interacting, I think, with the physical sort of tranquility of the site around us was with, a lot of open, expansive architecture too, where we wanted to bring as much of the outside in. And then going into sort of the actual, interior landscape designs, the art curation, and even, down to the food and other service designs. We were, driven by the high Himalayan cultures that is found in Pokhara as well as beyond Pokhara.
As a third generation hospitality hotelier with a rich history, your family history in hospitality, how do you see the future demand for hospitality, the wellness, the kind of property you're looking? I mean, what else inspires this?
I think tourism and hospitality, it has been changing, even since we started development, we've seen so much change in the market. And I feel the new generation of travelers, they're going out wanting to come back being better versions of themselves. So, I think holidays now are more purpose-driven as well. I think one is what people can feel and become when they come to a place. The other is sort of the impact that they can leave on the community and the people around as well. So I think those are two sort of drivers that we think about quite a lot when we're designing our experiences and the properties now. And the InterCon Pokhara, here, as I said, the physical tranquility sort of is so prevalent that, I think it just, for us, always made perfect sense for this to be a place of retreat, of wellness. And so those were, sort of two important activities that a lot of things were always revolved around then and now as well.
And besides the rooms, I've just seen them there, huge, they're spacious, they totally blend into the surroundings. What else is this resort going to offer in terms of wellness? Are there going to be spas and nature? How are the visitors here?
So we have lots of points of interaction, I think, with the site around us. So we're surrounded by a very tropical forest. which is quite unique, being so close to the mountains, yet you're surrounded by, orchids and all sorts of tropical plants, which is quite unique. And so we have many sort of points around the forest, whether it's, easy jogging trails to more adventurous hiking style trails, sport areas, pickleball courts, in the forest. And then obviously there's boating and other things like once you go down to the lake. But within the property itself, it was very important to have a large spa and wellness center. And now we are excited to be partnering up with 𝗧𝗿𝗃, which is a French beauty and wellness brand, to bring in an international spa experience here, because this place really deserves that in the international, I think, wellness world as well. We really feel that it deserved that exposure. But then we've always wanted the spa to go outside of the spa as well and to be in, all parts of the property too. So, we have like an all seasons pool with, sections you can be using like, in the winter as well, which is the coldest month, but also when the mountains are out, so I think then in the culinary as well, we want a very, I would say like innovative, but also quite grounded culinary program where, it changes with the season, it's informed by what's available around, and I think we sort of see that as a constraint and a challenge to innovate. And I think that the teams has been working on that like really well, and I'm excited to show that to people too.
As a final question, the tie-up, the partnership with the brand and the location 𝗏𝗃𝗏, because 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is maybe not so familiar to a lot of people. It's Pokhara is seen differently, but about 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and this tie-up.
So I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏 has always remained a really tranquil jewel almost of nature for people from Pokhara and outside as well, where we could do something a little differently here to help preserve the community and the ecology of 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And like I said, this is a property where my family and we've been coming here for decades, and there's a lot of love and attachment to the land. And so we wanted to do this development in a way and find a partner which sort of understands the importance of the land and our relationship to it, and will only sort of help preserve it for the generations to come.
Thank you so much for taking the time to
Thank
speak
you,
to us,
Clarence.
and I'm really looking forward to the opening.
We're looking forward to inviting you as a guest.
Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you so much.